want to do a really good stat, take off 150 to 250 off this gun. Or take off like 200 off the gun. Make it level 20, 12, 14. Make this one's level 20, 14, 94. That's 200 off. I think that's, or even if you want 250 off. I think that's a much stronger nerf than slowing me down. It's actually, that's not even the thing, man. It's amenity. Amenity is the one that would be nasty. Once they start getting this, if these start getting mass, start getting the stuff too, the mods also, this is the one that's gonna be nasty on them. It's gonna be this. Let me see if it's there. Amenity. Every time you kill something like that at legendary is super strong. Every time you kill something, you gain health. That'd be just nuts. And it's on Corral, mind you? Really? On Corral? Which is already giving you health? And if you're using Spite? Yeah, it gets silly. The Warforged doesn't even work as well as Amenity because Janix attacks so fast and is healing so quick. If you hit it with Corral, like, fun thing that people don't know about, and a lot of people haven't seen it. Spite with Primal Fire. I will demonstrate what that looks like. It's the funniest thing in the world. Primal Fire is one of the most underrated abilities, and I don't understand how people like it's not considered one of the tops. It's really one of the top abilities for objective taking. It's also one of the top abilities to fight anybody tanky. You have a lot of health, Primal Fire makes that not a thing. At level 20, it's taking 2,500 off most really tanky stuff. So, I don't know how people don't see that, but Primal Fire is disgusting. And this one has a Spirit Well too. Ain't gonna be as strong as the ones we were just playing, but it should still be good. Oh, it's got an overdrive. Yeah, I can deal with that. I love overdrives. So let me just show you. Let me see. Let me just make sure. That's Corral Spite. That's the combo I like playing. Let's do it with this. Because I want to do it on... Yeah, I don't think people... I don't think a lot of people really pay attention to what actually works good with each other. They just think, I like Temporal Rush, I like Blink. They're okay, but they ain't the best things you can use. And I don't really play the... Ew, that's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. I don't really... I'm really more about objective taking. I love taking out objectives. That's my thing. So that's the difference about the way I play versus a lot of other people. Yay! So here it is. Primal Fire. You notice that I keep healing? That was Primal Fire. So whenever you hit something with Primal Fire and transform to Janix, every hit of the Primal Fire heals you. Whew, that was close. Whew. Whew. So let me demonstrate again. Primal Fire, Janix. Oh, heal me. My health doesn't go down. And look at this Matter of Fact Spirit Well. He drops down to 36 by picking up one big heavy. Once I pick up a large one, whoa, 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 relax. need 20 points, and I'm not going to be able to get it. Yeah, it's just the one that's really funny is a lot of people don't realize how strong Primal Fire is. Like Primal Fire works really good with Quick Strike Pending. Primal Fire also works really good with Vanguard banners. Every time you're healing in Vanguard, every tick off a Primal Fire hit counts as a hit of something. So that hits the Vanguard proc also. So Primal Fire is super strong. And the thing about it is, if you've ever watched me taking out stuff with Primal Fire, every Overseer, every Imperial Guardian or Guardian is taking about 2,500 per second with Primal Fire over 3 seconds. So you're chunking down the damage over of these bosses really fast. Every one of those things hit by itself is taking off 2,500, 2,500, 2,500. It's like, it's so quick. So, like, again, every ability that I know that is like really strong, or everything I saw that's strong on something, Bowling Penguin showed it to me. He showed me Stasis. He showed me Primal Fire. He showed me Stillness. Like, I learned about most of them playing against him. And I was like, what was that? Like, I thought it was a game glitch, because Stasis back in the day was impossible to see the crystal shell around you. It was so pale and so light, you couldn't even see it. It just looks like the game froze, and then you're like, what's going on? Is this guy have a faster connection than me? And then he's like, oh, I'm using Stasis. I was like, that, when you don't know what it is, it's like one of the strongest things. Once you know what Stasis is, you literally just sit outside of the shell. Once it falls down, you kill the guy. Then it requires you to play Stasis extremely strategically. And then it becomes a much harder ability to use. But ever since they gave it the extra duration, and they fixed the issue that it used to have, where it used to come on and off, like when you didn't want it to, Stasis has been one of the more solid abilities. It's just, you got to get used to the fact that you ain't healing while you're in Stasis, and you ain't dying, you ain't moving while you're in Stasis. You have to time your heal for Stasis really carefully. So that's what kind of sucks with it. But yeah, the Primal Fire, man, one of the best abilities. That's what's so funny when people are like, what are the best abilities? I think it's Temporal Rush, Blink Strike, Volatile Minds. And I'm just like, you don't think Primal Fire is good? Primal Fire is also, if you really think about what it does, it's like a damage amplifier for whatever gun you're using. It gives you an extra 300 to 500 no matter what gun you're using. So if a gun that only does 700, Primal Fire, you're doing 1,000. Think of it like that. For 3 to 4 seconds, you got damage amplification. That's why it's so good. It's just that good. Max damage per second is 2,500 per second. It lasts 3 seconds. That means you can take off 7,500 off things that are super tanky every shot for 3 seconds. That's why objective clearing, it's a must. That's why when you're fighting a Primal, it's a must. Like, you don't even have, like, the only other thing that works really good against the Primals is Grounding Bolt. And Grounding Bolt was such a good ability back in the day that I used to use it exclusively. I stopped using Grounding Bolt. I haven't used Grounding Bolt probably in a good 6 months. I don't really use it much anymore. But my build, my original level 20 build was Grounding Bolt, Arrival, Nullum Guard, Lost Dreamer. That's how I used to basically run through the game. That was the first build I got to level 20. Lost Dreamer has lost a lot. I believe its range. What is Sincerity's range? I believe its range used to be longer. I thought it was. No, it and Sincerity always had the same range, but they were like one of the longest range battle rifles until the Tetrad. Yep, or the longest range rifles until the Tetrad. The Tetrad is the only thing out of the rifles that outranges it, not counting heavies. But the reason that gun used to work so well, I could fight a rocket launcher at distance. I could fight a flat cannon at distance. I could fight Splintered Fate at distance. I always had the ability to fight most weapons at distance, so it made it a really strong gun. Close range, you're dead. Close range, you're dead. Close range, you're dead. So half of my technique is kiting backwards. And it's the same problem. These were really strong when explosions couldn't go through walls. You would just hide behind structures. Because if anything catched you in the open and was close to you, you were doomed. Or if you were fighting a sniper and they had line of sight and range on you, you were also doomed. But these weapons behind stuff were like super powerful. And then explosions, maybe around 2 to 3 patches or maybe 4 patches ago, explosions started going through walls. And once that started happening, the weapon class fell considerably. There is no way, like in this current mode, the rocket launcher can be out of your range and still hit you through a wall. You can't fight rocket launchers with these guns effectively. It doesn't work. You can't reach them. And what was the offset back in the day? The heavies. This used to have a 15.6. This used to have a 16.5. This was 14 something. This was, I believe, in the 14s also. Or even, this one was straight 15. I believe this was 15.2. Like, they all were really long range. I don't know. It should work well with it, but I don't know if it gets it. Yes, it does. It should work really well. Because while you're in stasis, that would still be in combat because people like shooting you while you're doing it. You would think it would work well. I haven't seen it work very well yet. I have to pay attention to it. But definitely a Warforged, a nice Warforged build with it would probably work really good. Legendary Warforged. Like, here's the funny thing. This would be a fun thing to try with stasis. That has recovery. This would be a great one to start with stasis. It's just that to get running gun to fire, it's just that even if with running gun, it's a pain in the ass trying to fire 2 shots in a row with this gun. There's a 1.7 delay, which is really 1.8 delay between each shot. It's almost a second. It takes almost a second to fire each shot off a primary shotgun. It works okay for a heavy because this thing only has 4 shots. It works okay for an Ort Mandrel, but it's shooting 10 shots every time it releases. It fires twice as much. as this gun. So you would think, oh, 270 is great. It's just the damage sucks. It takes me over 1.6 seconds to fire 2 shots. Or 2 shots, it takes 0.8 seconds. Yeah, to fire 3 shots, it takes almost 2 seconds. It takes, what do you call it? 1.6 seconds, almost 2 seconds to fire just 2 shots. In that same time period, the freaking caretaker would have fired all 4 of its shots and probably fired 1 extra shot from the next clip. That's why the caretaker seems so impossibly strong. It's just so much faster. And it's weird. The logical thing would have been to have done was make this 1.4 and make this 1.3. That's literally shifting the reactivation delays between the 2 guns. That's all it would have been. But for some bizarre reason, they did this weird ass 0.7 and thought that would be good. Like, you can't really even use its infusion proc anymore. When you empty the clip, it takes over 6 seconds to empty the clip. Or if not 6, it takes 5.6 seconds to empty the clip. It's still almost 6 seconds to do it. That's insane. You don't have 6 seconds to shoot all your shots just to get 600 back. By the time you get that 600 back, you've lost maybe 3 to 4 times that health anyway. So how does that help? It's just weird. It's weird. That's why I said like 0.13, man. And I feel bad for telling people, like, I remember I told somebody like 2 patches ago, the Borson, the belt of phasing, if you have the Warden and then you have, what do you call it, a Hailstorm, nice strong build. Not anymore. Not with a Borson as your main. It's the only protector weapon that exists. I mean, it'd be nice if they add in 2 or 3 weapons too. Give protector an extra gun in the front. Give protector an extra heavy. Give Primalist an extra heavy. Give Sniper an extra heavy. Like, those 3 guns don't have more than one heavy to represent them. Everything else has at least 2. So at least 3 of these weapons need a heavy to represent them also. I mean, 3 of these banners need extra heavies. It would be Primalist, Sniper, and Protector. And then in the primaries, you definitely need an extra Protector weapon. And then, I mean, it'd be kind of nice to have other things to use besides just one gun. And that's what makes it kind of really messed up every time when you're trying to build full banner builds. You're missing a gun. You're missing one freaking gun and you can't do it. At least when there's 2, there's twice as much of a chance to create it. When there's just the 1, if you don't have that 1 gun, you're screwed. At least some of them are just given to you. Like the Arrival, like the Objection, the Heretic, the Hailstorm. But all the others, you have to basically go try to figure out a way to earn them, and it ain't easy from what I've seen. But yeah, here's to hoping Cloaking finishes the SD this week. Whether it's Friday or Saturday, I mean Friday, it'd be kind of cool to be able to see the patch. Or if he finished it early, it would be nice to see the patch on Thursday or early next week. Because, yeah. 0.13. All right, y'all. Thanks for being on the stream. Keep your eyes, your ears, your hearts, and your mind open. Saturday stream is the next stream. Later, guys.